All right, it's 2 o'clock. We'll call the meeting to order. Let's start with roll call.
Davis.
Here.
Jimenez.
Present.
Kame. Foley.
Here.
Cohen.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. We'll start with reviewing the agenda for next Tuesday's council meeting, August 29th. We have 9:30 closed session, 1:30 open session, no evening session next week. Consent is on pages 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then we have the one item, section 3.3. And we have one regular land use item notice for the afternoon for property on Mitzi Drive. And I don't think there's an ad sheet. So let's go to public comment.
Blair Beekman.
Hi, Blair Beekman here. You have items 2.14 on funding for, well, actually it's 2.16, sorry about that. Boy, I got the wrong item, I'm really sorry. I'll just go to 2.15 of the consent calendar. Strengthening mobility and revolutionizing transportation program grant. You know, from yesterday, public comment time, I really want to just try to be informational. I don't want to be combative in what I'm doing with technology issues and trying to work towards a more accountable, open space. That needs conversation and dialogue and openness and trust. And for the mayor to shut me down the way he did yesterday hurts that. When I'm trying to work towards a total decency in how we talk about this, we have to be informational and open in our technology future. And each time that comes up, I hope you can be open to that and not closed and not be stuck in a status quo way of thinking, but how to be open. With that all said, thank you. For item 2.15, it's about revolutionizing technology and what's called curbside technology. I'm not exactly sure what that is exactly about. To me, it signals a couple ideas. It can help with technology issues around the future of, people who are in wheelchairs and people who have disability needs in crossing streets, and that whole program that's really interesting and hopeful. And it also mentions the concepts of automated vehicle use and technology that is possibly going to be coming up soon in our lives. Geofencing is an important concept in all of that. You guys have to learn a language that is not just a status quo language, but a real open language.
Back to the committee.
All right, thank you. Do we have a motion?
Move approval. Second.
All right, let's move to a vote. All right, the agenda is approved 5-0. There is no meeting on the first week of September, so we're on to our consent. We have 4 items on the Rules Committee consent. We'll go to public comment.
Blair Beekman.
Hi, Blair Beekman here. Yeah, not just a status quo, but an all-around openness in how to talk about things. With that said, thank you. There was public record where people, homeowners, landlords were discussing what it means to be a property owner and renting out tenant space and their difficulties they can have. They're part of an interesting group, it sounds like, that addresses issues, that works from an owner's perspective. My only ask is that, or to try to weigh in, to try to offer something, in my small-minded way, that it's my personal feeling that the future of retrofit funding ideas for owners, that can be 100% subsidized. It should be. And it would be sad if owners do have to put in money into that retrofit process, but there can be ways for it to be 100% subsidized. And if owners can trust that, that creates the process of real choices for how we build our future that can give us more options and how to build our future. If owners want to trust that, that's key. Good luck in how they can trust that. And I need to be more clear if that is actually the case, but it should be a 100% package. And it's from that we also need to be considering how tenants are protected during that time and that tenants aren't kicked out because of the reasons of retrofit, and that they can, and tenants themselves can get help. And I know city government's working on all of that. Good luck in those efforts, and that we promote those sort of good efforts. Thank you.
Back to the committee.
All right, is there a motion on the consent calendar?
So moved.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All right, the motion carries 5-0. And then we're on to open forum.
Larry Beekman.
Hi, Blair Beekman here. From PISFIS last week, a pretty interesting PISFIS meeting. I got detained. I got stuck in the bathroom for a minute, and I couldn't quite give my closing public open forum comments that I wanted to give. And so I'm sorry about that. Everyone was really nice that day. Thank you. I want to offer a few words, try to figure a few words about the issues of Lahaina fire and how that can relate to the problems we had in San Jose with flood issues and that whole process. I want to try to bring that all together, because I've been going to Lahaina a lot and swimming with whales and swimming here and there, speaking to each other with their children all day long, you know, during the wintertime. It's a really interesting emotional feelings that you can have from that. And so I wanted to speak on those issues and bring it to a whole, try to bring it to a whole. And good luck how we can be communicating with whales and how we're going to want to be talking to the whale community in the redevelopment process going on in Lahaina at this time, and to develop that sort of conversation. I think it's important in how we can rebuild, and to definitely be working towards indigenous rights in how to rebuild. That's key. And that will be interesting. And I'm sorry that harm has had to come to people. I hope we really can work on that. We don't have to cause harm in order to build our better future. Good luck in those efforts. And I guess with my remaining time, just to kind of offer, to continue to offer, I don't want to be hostile this fall. I don't want to be aggressive, but I want to have dialogue. And when there's a chance for conversation to be open about the subject of technology, we have to be factual and not be afraid of that. You guys are continuously afraid when I bring up factual points that doesn't fit into your narrative. Good luck how we can be open. It's key just to be open this fall. Thank you.
Call in user 1.
Yeah, hi, Martha O'Connell. We've got one day before we have the special study session on developing norms and procedures. Thanks to D2 staff for sending me an email acknowledging my call to them, finding out if these breakout sessions are going to be open to the public, which I really think they should be. They're saying they're waiting for an email back from the city clerk. I'll repeat what I said on Tuesday. The purpose of these sessions, in pertinent part, is to promote transparency and accountability, encourage public participation, and reduce conflict and misunderstanding. I and many other folks I have talked to would like to witness the breakout sessions. I haven't found anything that is in the Brown Act that would allow these breakout sessions to be closed. So I encourage you to use the technology. We do it in webinars all the time. You have breakout sessions, and that way we could join the breakout session of the council people that we would like to do. Thank you very much.
Back to the committee.
All right. The meeting is adjourned at 2:09 p.m.